Hey guys, how are you? I'm so excited to go live following up on my last training about email swaps. You guys, I am all about the email swaps right now. I think they're so much fun. They are a great strategy to use, and I hope you guys all try it. So, to recap on what an email swap is. What an email swap is you are finding someone to swap email lists with and share content. So the name is actually a little bit misleading. So you are not hopping on to the other person's list and they're not getting into yours. You are swapping content to share with your own respective lists, and then they can opt in to the other person's list. I recommend having a mention for a freebie at the end of the email so people can do that. So if you are hopping on live, comment hashtag live. If you're hopping on the replay, comment hashtag replay. I love to see who's watching. What other thing did I want to mention? I can't remember, so let's jump right in. So there were some questions that came up after the training, so I wanted to just do a second training on this, come back, talk about the questions, talk about what I recommend for you guys to do. So the first question I got is, can I do this if I don't have a list right now? And my response is that you can, but at a minimum, I would recommend at least getting the text set up so that if people want to opt into your list, they can do that. I guess this question, I feel like I took it in a couple different ways. First is the idea that like your list is so small, or maybe it's at zero. You can still do this if you have a 0-person list or a very small list, and I'll touch on that in the next question. But like say you don't even have the text set up, I at least recommend having that set up so that people can opt into your list. Because if you don't have that, then it really doesn't make this strategy worth your time. And I want to make sure that every action you're working on for your business is one that's worth your while, right? So the next question is, my email list is really small right now, so I don't think it would be much of an incentive for someone else to swap with me. How can I approach swaps? So the first thing I would say is, when you're looking for people to swap with, approach your inner circle, because they're going to be really likely to say yes because they know you, they like you. They don't really probably care how big your email is. They just think this is going to be a fun thing and they're going to be excited to do it. Next, when you pitch someone, you don't have to include the size of your list in the email. And if you have a small list, I don't think I would. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you have a larger list, then that can be a good incentive. That can be something that might persuade someone to say yes. And then the last thing that you can do is approach it as a takeover. So if you don't think that it will be appealing to the person, or maybe they just don't have the capacity to send content to you, then what you can do is a takeover. So what this would be is sending content to someone else. Basically, it's like you're saying, I just want to take some work off your hands for a week. If I have some content that you can share with your audience, and that's how you can pitch that, is as a takeover. So there are ways to approach it if you have a small list. I thought this question was really good and really interesting. Do email swaps violate GDPR guidelines? So if you're unfamiliar and you missed the whole GDPR frenzy, so what this is the European Union mandated some guidelines around consumer privacy and protection and data protection, and this really affects how you collect data on your site and just keeping people's information private. So what I want to clarify about the email swap is how this works. So again, you are not actually getting into the other person's email list. You are never in their email marketing account. You are never seeing their contact list. You are only swapping content that you put in your own email marketing account. So that's where it's really important to know that you're not seeing any of the other person's contacts or anything that would violate that privacy. Let's see. And also, you are not adding their contacts to your list, and you're not sending your contact list to them to add to their list. That's not how this works. So from what I can see, after reviewing the GDP, I don't know why I can't say that, GDPR guidelines, this should not in any way violate guidelines. You are, at the end of the email, inviting people to join your list if they want to, but of course that is if they opt in, like they have that choice to do so. All right, So the next question, and you guys, if you have questions now too, go ahead and post them in the comments and I would love to answer them as well. So the next one is, I don't have a freebie and I don't have a time to create a freebie. Can I do an email swap without that piece? So my answer here is you can, but I don't recommend it because I just don't think it would be worth your time. The idea again with email swap is that you are growing your email list by allowing people to opt in via that freebie. If you don't have this, you're not going to have any way to capture leads and build your list. But I guess I would say the alternate option that you could do is invite people to join your Facebook group or follow you on Instagram. The thing with that is you're on a different medium. You're asking them to switch platforms. So that is a little bit, I don't want to say a risk because it's not really that risky, but the great thing about doing email swap is you're on the same medium. So people are already looking at email. They're already, looking at your email. And so it's an easy thing to say, just hop over and join this other email list too. If you're asking them to join a Facebook group or follow you on Instagram, you're asking them to switch mediums. So that's why allowing them to opt into your list is a great way to go about this. But if you're going to do it and you don't have a freebie, you at least want to have some way to try and connect with them further. All right, last question here. How do you find the right email swap prospects? So I'll reiterate, I recommend starting with your inner circle. They're going to be the people most likely to say yes, the people who are going to be excited about doing it with you. And also, when you're looking for people to swap lists with, look for people who are already actively emailing because you know that they've been building a relationship with their audience. So the people that I have swapped lists with already, I'm on their list, they're on mine, so it works really well because we've been able to see the kind of content each other puts out. We have that friendship already. It's an easy yes. The next really important thing is look for someone to swap with who their products or services complement yours. You don't want to be looking for someone who does the same thing as you for a couple reasons. First, I don't think that they're probably going to be likely to say yes because they're going to see you as a competitor. And secondly, do you want to be sending your people to follow them when they provide the same products or services as you? So I want to mention that, yes, I believe that there is room for all of us and there's space for all of us, but I just don't think that this is the smartest strategy when you could be better benefiting yourself by finding someone who complements your products and services and whose list will complement yours. Let's see. Overall, look for your ideal audience, someone that has those people on their list. One thing here, ideally, this is based on just like conversion rates. So mathematically, someone with a larger list, it's going to be beneficial to swap with them just based on the numbers, right? But I want to encourage you first and foremost to find just people with a quality audience. That is the biggest thing here because they are going to be the best people for your audience too. So that is the questions that I wanted to cover. If you guys, again, if you have questions while you're watching this or after, hop in the comments and I'd love to answer them. I've already got another list swap scheduled and I'm super excited to introduce you guys to my good friend Katie Pinnell. She's a copywriter and you guys are going to learn some homepage copy tips. Hey Tiffany, thanks for joining. All right. I can't think of anything else at the moment, but if you guys, I would love to hear if you're looking at doing email swap, if you've reached out to some people, let me know. I'd love to hear how it's going. If if you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to let me know in the group. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.